Can't choose your parents.
Now, it used to be one of the ugliest cars on the road, but the new Insight looks pretty nice.
It was a two-seater and it was all aluminum. The original Insight was the most economical of cars, possibly made purely for gas mileage. But it was also one of the ugliest cars ever made. I'm sure at some point in the future there'll be a museum dedicated to the worst designed cars, and the Insight will sit right next to the Pontiac Aztek. But just like the ugly duckling, the Insight has developed into a swan. I can quite honestly say it's one of the better looking cars that I have seen in the last 12 months. But what was shown at the Detroit Auto Show was only a prototype. Very few details were released about the car, and it was on a high stand behind glass, so we weren't able to prod and poke. It used to be that Americans would drive vehicles that didn't look so pretty just because they are looking for superior fuel economy. Now, next to the Ford GT, the Ford C-Max is the worst selling vehicle in Ford's lineup. Although economically sound, it's definitely a victim of the ugly stick. Rumors are swirling that the C-Max is about to get axed from the Ford lineup due to poor sales. The new Honda Insight will be based on the Honda Civic platform, but it looks more like a Honda Accord. It's technically going to be a hatchback, and we understand that the fuel range will be 50 miles a gallon plus, which is good news for those that don't want to visit the gas station often. Now, technically, because this vehicle is still a prototype, the engineers will be allowed to make several changes before it hits the market sometime this summer. However, inside sources at Honda tell us that the only thing that will change is the width of the wheels. Pretty much what you see is what you get. No significant news on pricing, but we guess it'll come in between around $18,000 and $25,000 and top out as low as $30,000. But Honda always have plenty of surprises up their sleeves. It's good news to see that Honda have rescued the reputation of the Insight, but now it's up to General Motors to come up with a new Aztek and save that from being the ugliest car of all time.
For our auto expert, I'm Nick Miles.